Hey there world, I'm the Courageous Goldfish, and today we are here for yet another pretty much quarterly annual wine and Wonfest. I love making these videos, you guys seem to like watching them, so we're gonna keep doing it. I've been gone for a really long time. Honestly, little bit of a life update. The past couple of months have been an absolute show for me in terms of like personal life stuff. My house flooded. So we have to replace the entirety of the hardwood on the main floor, which means we need to move out for 2 weeks, which means my glasses are packed up and packed away. So today we are drinking our grape juice because we are now monetized. We're drinking grape juice out of this beautiful Snoopy mug. So, you know, there's the state of events there. Secondarily, the company I was working for f***ed me over so supremely badly and then laid me off. So, you know, that was great. That's the end of that. We got some snacks. We got the grape juice. We got some brand new figure announcements, and we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. Of course, as always, we are using Ruru berries, so if you are interested in some more like full coverage of this event, go ahead and take a look through the announcements yourself. Again, as per usual, I'm only going to be talking about stuff that I feel like I have something to say about. Secondarily, if you are interested in a video format of like a more comprehensive coverage of everything that was shown off at this event, I can recommend Zuko usually does a very comprehensive breakdown. He also has some very like fleshed out opinions on things, more so than I do. He's been in the game way longer than I have. So if you are interested in a little bit more of a buttoned up kind of approach, that's that. I'll refer you over there. Over here, we're just kind of hanging out. We're being messy. It is what it is. Let's get into it. Okay, so we did not have a spring wand hobby this year, and I believe we did not have one last year either. I think instead of doing the spring wand hobby, they are instead opting to do SmileFest. This year happened in June, so I'm hoping that the figures that I was interested in are also exhibitioned here. If not, at the end of the video, I'll do like a little bit of a segment on what I'm interested there, but strictly we're going to focus on the Wonder Festival announcements today. So here we go. We're gonna start with Kadokawa. Okay, and right off the bat, we have the 1/7 scale Holo Yukata Beauty version. I do remember when they announced this and I was like, okay, they better really kill it on the art style here. And I like what I'm seeing. I think this is really, really cute. I have not watched this series. It's on my list, but this is adorable. I really like this. I also love the fact that it does come with like the board. I know that might be a little bit contentious, but for this in particular, it works for me. I really love the pattern on her yukata here and her facial expression. Oh my God, that's really good. Ah! Okay. This is what I've been waiting for. Oh my God. Okay, so I did put this on my wish list for the winter Wonfest, I think, where I really wanted to see a Maren Yukata version. Clearly, Kadokawa is doing one, which is really great actually, because I actually have a Rem Yukata version in my collection already. So if they turn out kind of like similar to each other, that's gonna be so good. Oh, that's exciting. I really was looking forward to this. I kind of knew that this was gonna happen eventually, but I'm really glad to see it announced. So definitely gonna keep my eyes on this one in particular. Okay, and another Ai Hoshino by Kadokawa. This looks like a bit of a different outfit going on here. I have not kept up with this series. I have not started watching season 2, even though I loved the first season. Generally speaking, I watch anime with my boyfriend and he is just not interested in starting more than 1 or 2 shows at a time. So we're watching 100 Years Quest at the moment, and I've also like got him on the Apothecary Diaries kick. So we are finishing those up first before we move on to like expanding. And because I value the sanctity of my relationship, I'm not gonna watch without him. We've got some more Konosuba announcements. Kadokawa seems to be the primary license holder for Konosuba figures. I don't know if that's strictly true, but I feel like whenever I see a lot of Konosuba figures, it's generally Kadokawa that's making them. So we have lingerie versions of Aqua, Megumin, Union, and Darkness. They're fine. They're fine. In particular, I do like Darknesses here. I think that's really sweet. If they nail the expression on this, this is going to be really good. I feel like this is somewhat of a biased take because Darkness is my more favorite of the four. So maybe that's just me. Okay, non-scale figure Bochi the Rock. If I am correct, this means that you get all four girls in one figure, which is super duper exciting if you're a fan of this show. I do like this sculpt. I feel like it's very dynamic, and this could be a great option if you're looking to get all the band members, but you're not wanting to pay like individual prices for each of them. I like this idea. However, again, it depends on how it's painted, it depends on how much it costs, it depends on the scale, you know, it depends on a lot of things. But in concept, this is interesting to me. Okay, yeah, let's talk about this one. Okay, so I have not looked at any of these announcements. I'm filming this on a Tuesday and the Wonfest happened on Sunday. So I have not looked at any of the announcements, but I did in fact see some discourse about this because we did get some Nendoroid announcements for Black Butler for the new public school arc season, but only one figure announcement. And already it was slightly contentious because Aniplex has decided to make this a non-scale figure. I do not know what that means in terms of how big he will be. However, secondarily, when people saw this go up, they had some questions, okay? Listen, I'm gonna die on the hill that we get supremely shafted in the Kuroshitsuji fandom. And so a lot of people were really looking forward to this, and honestly, this sculpt kinda disappoints. Like it's fine on its own, but considering that we have so many other CL figures in this particular pose, people were just looking for something that was a little bit more, right? I did see a comment on my figure collection that was like, literally, they could have done the scene where he's biting on the fork, which if you've seen, you know. If you don't, I'm gonna put an image in of like what I'm talking about here. But they could have done something along those lines. That could have really made this special. That could have really sold a lot of people on picking this one up. But he's just kind of sitting there. Like, he's fine. I guess it depends on how he's painted, but A, the non-scale, and B, they really just could have gone harder. So, you know, I mean, I get the disappointment. I get the disappointment here. And I'm not the supremely biggest CL fan in the first place. I vastly prefer Sebastian, so I am hoping that maybe we'll get a Sebastian to match. We'll have to see how it goes. Ah, okay. So I did have this announcement previously saved from one of the prior figure events, but now they have sculpted her. This is the Ghost Bride Awa Yuki by QuestQ. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I feel like this is one of the ones that you're really gonna have to see painted, and I feel that way about a lot of wedding dress figures. It really depends on how they shade the white, because if it's too much and it's too stark, then it just looks cheap, right? So it's gonna depend on how they finish this. However, so far she's looking not bad. For me specifically, I saved this with the intention of potentially getting her in a group of other figures I'm interested in with the same vibe. Specifically, I'm very interested in the Falslander Ronin figure, and also I do somewhat regret not pre-ordering the Neon Max Wakamo figure. She turned out amazing and she's going really crazy on the aftermarket at the moment. So depending on if I decide to pick those ones up, I may perhaps be interested in this one as well. Okay, and there's another one that I was interested in. I might have to censor this one as well. Wow, she's not as bad as the illustration though, because she's cute. She looks like she's turning out pretty good. This one is very along similar lines as my Anubis bunny version that I just picked up a couple of months ago. So I don't know if I will end up having space in the collection for this one, but I do like how she's turning out so far. The really funny part about this one as well that I saw in the Mind Figure collection comments is that this particular illustration that they're basing this figure off of is actually fan art of an OC. So the OC was created by someone and then Dish did fan art of this OC, and it's the fan art that's getting the figure made. So I don't know how the original OC artist feels about this. I hope that they're getting paid. I hope that things are all good in that term. But, you know, there's no way to know. Okay. Oh. MiHoYo, what are you doing? Okay, all right. Riddle me this. Genshin Impact, which has been an extremely popular franchise for like 4 years, has had such a slow rollout of any kind of scale figures to the point where fans are resorting to buying bootlegs and resin statues instead of supporting officially licensed MiHoYo product. And yet Zenless Zone Zero has been out for like literally 2 seconds and already we have like a fully painted, ready for pre-order prototype. How? Why? I guess I'm just salty because I play Genshin and I don't play this. Because Genshin is the only game I play. I play Stardew Valley and I play Genshin Impact. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. This is interesting. This is an interesting choice. Ah, okay. All right, so I guess we're doing version 2 of the KDA girls, which is kind of exciting, not gonna lie. I again am half in, half out with the KDA figures. I do really like the first set that they put up. I do have Ari, but I have not pre-ordered the other 3. I am like inches away from pre-ordering the other ones. However, this is interesting. This is very cool. I'm gonna take a look at these designs again because maybe I might like mix and match them so that I have all 4 of them, but maybe in just like different outfits, perhaps? I don't know. We'll see. But Ari in particular looks really great. Again, they should nail the tails on this. That was kind of a gripe that I had with the original, was that I felt like her tails were not as fantastical as compared to the promotional images. But again, Apex was very new at this point, so I really hope that they put the extra love into this one in particular. Okay, DMM Factory is an interesting one for me because I have actually turned my attention a little bit to their releases. I did actually pre-order the Urza Scarlet Ataraxia version. Of course, it's me. However, I am somewhat interested in a couple of the other artworks that they have in production as well. So let's see what they've got to show us today. Right off the bat, I believe this is the, yeah, okay. All right, so this is one of the ones that I was looking at as well. This is the Hatsune Miku Rosuri version, and she's painted. Okay. My problem is that I really, really love this design, but I have to be so selective and so careful about the Mikus that I buy because I am such a Miku fangirl. I could easily end up with an entire collection of Miku, no questions asked, and I don't want that. Like, that's not the vision that I have for my collection, right? So I gotta be so careful because space is limited, but I love her. She's amazing with the Kompeto. I don't know if that's specifically what it's supposed to be, but it reminds me of the Japanese star candies, and she's painted so cute. Oh my god, I love her. Niji Sanji. I am not a VTuber girl, okay? Let me preface this by saying that. I am not a VTuber girl in any way, shape, or form. I know next to nothing about the community. However, I do have at least a little bit of knowledge about how badly Niji-sanji is f***ing up their soup right now. So I am somewhat surprised that they are still going forward with making new merchandise because their stock shares have been falling extremely aggressively. So, you know, that's a choice. I believe they also had to cancel their Anime Expo concert that they were supposed to do because the ticket sales were so bad. It's giving Jennifer Lopez, okay? It just is. Like, maybe I should shut my mouth about communities that I'm not a part of. Anyways, come on. We've got Wonderful Works, Plum, Zero Creative, and DCT-er? I've never heard of that one. I've never heard of Zero Creative, and I've never heard of this last one. Not sure how to pronounce it, so I'm not gonna try again. That's a tongue twister. But first up, we've got the Mao Mao Garden Party version by Wonderful Works. This one has been on my list as well for a really long time. When they first showed off her painted prototype, I believe it was at SmileFest, people had a lot of things to say, okay? People in particular thought that she looked a little bit flat and that they really, really hated the arm seams here. And like, listen, those arm seams do not look great. They could have done a little bit more. In my brain, perhaps potentially they're gonna be giving us a second set of arms with this figure, which means that kind of makes sense. However, if it's just molded like that, a little bit lazy on their part. However, in terms of the paint, these new photos, oh, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. In particular, I really love the shading on her hair. I think the metallic was a really, really good choice that makes her stand out. I also love how they weathered the skirt here, so it really looks like her knees are popping out. She's just gorgeous all around. I really, really love this series, and I think I will definitely be trying to pick up this figure, depending on how much she costs. I don't know in particular. I don't think I have any Wonderful Works figures, so I don't know what their pricing is like, but I'm definitely like 98% sold on picking this one up. All right, Union Creative, Wing, and Freeing. I am on the hunt for the Urza Union Creative figure. She turned out amazing. I love her. And as I predicted, she is tanking in the aftermarket, so I will definitely be able to pick her up for a good price. I'm super excited. She is going for around 16,000 right now. You can get her for 18 on AmiAmi, but AmiAmi is like generally more expensive on pre-owned. You can get her cheaper other places. So I'm kind of looking for that sweet spot of like 15 to 16K is what I'm looking for. So we'll see how that goes for me. But let's see what they have to exhibition today. Ah, interesting. Okay, I just recently learned the lore behind this character and how she came to be. She is kind of an offshoot of Miku. But I like what they're doing here. I know a lot of people really, really wanted to see more figures of this character in particular. I know the horror and kind of like off-putting aesthetic is really going popular right now. Obstetrician M in particular does a really good job at capturing this style. I've seen a lot of his work in other collectors' collections. So this is very exciting. It looks like we have a regular version and a Chinese dress version? Traditional wear version, we're gonna call it. She's got a little waist sash and some sleeves going on here. That's very cool. It's gonna be interesting to see how they paint these, if they make her look like supremely robotic with the shading and everything. But I know a lot of people that are gonna be really excited about these. Ah, interesting. We finally have a prototype for the Tsuyu Froppy figure from My Hero Academia. This one's been in production for so freaking long. Same as Nejire, she was a draft for so freaking long. So I'm really happy for the Froppy fans that she's finally getting exhibitioned. They've had a long time to work on her, so they probably should have put her up painted for pre-order already, but better late than never, okay? She looks really nice. She looks super cool. I love the dynamism of this pose. Froppy fans are gonna be happy about this, I know it. Scale figure Chisato and Takina from Licorice Recoil. They are doing the punk rock mid-roll illustrations, I guess. Super exciting that they're picking up more of the designs of these characters. I know they're super popular and there was quite a few different ones that people were hoping that they would pick up. I in particular really like the hoodies, like the Spider Lily hoodies. And I believe that there's another, maybe it's For You that announced those, but they haven't put anything up yet. So I don't know, I don't know. These are cool though. We've got Wave, Pony Figure, Kyoto, Medicos, and Design Coco. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, I like that. That's awesome. No kidding, hey? Okay, 1/7 scale, Hatsune Miku goldfish version. Hello! Wow! Oh, this is insane. Okay, so the colors on the art, extremely nice. Love that. If it translates well into this sculpt in particular, wow, she's insane. Oh, I really like that. I really like that a lot. That's super cool. Okay, see, this is what I mean about Mikus. We have this conversation every single time I film one of these videos. I can't buy more Miku figures, but this one, okay, if it's gonna be anything, if it's gonna be anyone that breaks this rule, it's gotta be the goldfish version, okay? I have to do it for the branding, right? I feel like this is an opportune time to have a snack break here as we're looking at this beautiful goldfish Miku, you know? It's not like I'm committed to the brand or anything. I actually got my namesake for my channel from like the goldfish crackers. I am supremely obsessed with goldfish crackers and I have been my entire life. So like that's a little bit of a lore drop for you. Wave X Good Smile Company. We've got Pop-Up Parade Beach Queens for Asuna, Alice, and Lifa. This is an interesting concept to me because I believe the Beach Queens thing is a Wave property. Kind of like Nendroid is a Good Smile Company property, but they license it out to other companies. I feel like this might be the same thing if I'm not mistaken. These in particular look good. In terms of pop-up parades, honestly, not a lot of complaints. In this one in particular, I do like the shading that they've done with Lifa's hair. Again, more Sword Art Online figures, it's just never gonna die, okay? And my girl Sinon is constantly getting shafted, so minus points for that. However, these ones are nice. These ones are not bad. I like the idea of doing really nice beach prize figures because I feel like if you're paying like top quality scale prices for a beach figure, you're not really getting your money's worth, right? It's just a girl in a bikini, right? So I feel like this is a more manageable option for people who are interested in beach figures but don't want to pay that high price tag. And again, like I said, these ones in particular look pretty good. Ooh. Oh, wow. The paint job on this one is really nice. Look at, she's got like galaxy printed hair. Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to censor those. Maybe we shouldn't zoom in on that. This is really cool. I do not play Fate. I do not watch Fate. I don't interact with Fate in any capacity whatsoever. But this is really cool. This is like one of the first Fate figures that's ever caught my attention. I really love the way they painted this. I hope that they didn't edit these, right? Like I hope that that's what she's actually gonna look like, because if so, this is insane. Look at how they like her hands, her legs with the lightning, and the way the base looks. Dude, are you kidding? This is insane. She looks awesome. Okay, Rem Aqua Dress version and Ram Aqua Dress version. I believe that the Rem was already up for pre-order. Perhaps they are just exhibitioning this because they have released the Ram. They're fine. Like, they look okay. In terms of how they've sculpted it, in terms of how they've shaded it, makes sense, not bad. If they actually look accurate to how they are portrayed in this photo, they seem like nice figures. They literally look the same though. Like I get they're twins, but I feel like they literally just took Rem and like mirrored her and painted her hair pink. Okay, Vertex Orca Toys Q6, Daiki Kogyo, and Howling Star. A couple of these I've never heard of. There are so many oh, NSFW, okay. We are, right? I forgot what I was saying. I think it was like, oh yeah, okay. Lots of new figure manufacturers that are popping up recently. I don't know if they're just like offshoots of other established companies or if they're just like brand new to the scene because the scene has exploded recently. But you know, not a lot that I know about some of these companies. Okay. Yeah, okay. Makes sense for Orca Toys, okay? And listen, normally I am all for new Urza figure announcements. You know this about me. I am chronically insane about Urza Scarlet, and I have been craving a renaissance of fairy tale figures because the new season has started airing. However, we all know how I feel about Orca Toys, so I am hesitant to be excited. These were also in draft stage for a really, really long time as well, so I guess they took their time with it. She looks okay. This is the thing that Orca Toys does, is they make one sculpt and then they release like 3 different color variants for it, so I don't know. I mean, I've never understood that. I just don't think I like how Orca Toys does Urza. Her face always looks messed up. It doesn't look like Urza to me. And I had such a bad experience with the other one that it's just like I feel so dejected and let down by this company because it's literally the only company that consistently makes Urza figures. And it's like, man, I really want to love this. I really want to love this, but I just don't. Listen, my wallet is like crying tears of relief hearing me say that, all right? Like it's time to give it a rest on the Urzas, okay? But I am clinically and chronically insane, okay? So it's you know, I'm okay to skip out on this one. It's not gonna kill me. Lots of Azur Lane, so nothing in particular interesting for me. Let's move on to Amakuni. It's that point in the video now where I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Bear with me for 2.5 seconds. Ah, another Makima. Okay, interesting. Makima suffers from a very specific face curse that affects certain characters from certain shows. She in particular seems to get shafted in terms of her figures not really looking like her. And I feel like the closest we've ever gotten, and like the penultimate Makima figure so far to me, has been the F next one, right? So this is following a very similar vibe as that one is. And there's no blood. Like you gotta have blood if it's a Chainsaw Man figure, right? Like that's the whole thing. Like they could have splattered at least some effort into that, right? Oh my god, okay, we died. We fixed it. Camera angle's gonna be different. Sorry about it. Makima. I stand by the fact that if you are going to make Chainsaw Man figures, you gotta go super duper duper hard on the gore and the blood. So this is missing for me. However, she does at least somewhat look like Makima, so I will give it a pass for that. However, I do think that the other one is a little bit better. Just in my opinion, if you're gonna buy a Makima figure, that one seems to have turned out pretty well. I also believe that it is dropping in the aftermarket because the only fatal flaw of that one was that it was like literally 28,000 yen, which is insane. Insane for that simple of a figure, okay? So if you can get her for a good deal on the aftermarket, much better in my opinion than this. There's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh figures right now, I'm noticing. Is Yu-Gi-Oh going through like is it an anniversary or something like that? Educate me in the comments what's going on with the Yu-Gi-Oh fandom right now. Anyways. Oh, okay. Shirogane K from Kaguya-sama. That's exciting. I believe that she did not already have a previous scale figure, so this is supremely exciting. I know a lot of people really love this particular character. This one, I don't remember what the other Amakuni ones look like, but this is cute. This is nice. Again, depending on how they paint it, but it's really hard to mess up these Kaguya-sama girls, so I'm sure she'll turn out great. Yes, okay. I did also see these on Twitter as well. Well, we should call it X now, because Twitter's dead, okay? I'm sorry. I'm living in the 2010s. Anyways, these were announced previously, I believe, and now they are sculpted and painted. These are the Megurine Luka and Kagamine Rin scale figures by Prisma Wing, and I don't like them. I don't. I'm sorry. Prisma Wing, their prices are insane, in my opinion. So I don't know how well these will be priced. But honestly, like, what is going on with Luca's hair here? Okay, like, it looks orange. It looks straight up orange to me. This outfit is not giving me anything. This facial expression is not giving me anything. I don't know. Just don't like. And Rin's is even worse, in my opinion. Like, in particular, her hair. What is going on there? The bubblegum is kind of cute. Why is she wearing Len's jacket? Meh? Like, it's not terrible, but knowing how starved we are for other Vocaloids other than Miku, I really feel like we deserve something that's a little bit better than this. This is just underwhelming to me. I feel like the paint on their clothes is not even interesting either. The sculpt, the painting, nothing's interesting about this to me. Watch me just be completely wrong and everybody loves these. In my opinion, they suck. I don't like these. FNEX again with these Yoshitoku dolls. Actually, these ones aren't specifically branded Yoshitoku, so maybe they're just kind of going a different direction in trying to make these more of an affordable thing. But these are the Homura and Madoka versions, and these are really cute. I do like these with her little Kyubey bag. I know a lot of people are going to go crazy about these, especially if there's if they're a decent price, pardon me. Again, these Japanese cloth doll figures do not go for cheap. So I wouldn't be expecting, honestly, I wouldn't be expecting anything less than like 50,000 yen for these. But if you love them, and they look really nice. Ah, that's cute. Okay, so Ripos is doing a Border family set. I don't know if they will sell them all together, if you could buy them individually. However, this is the summer sunny days outfit version from when they went to the aquarium. So you get Aged Penguin, you get Anya looking super cute, you get Yor, and you get Lloyd. The other Lloyd and Anya figure that they just announced at SmileFest, there was something funky going on with Lloyd's face, okay? They cannot seem to get that man right to save his life, right? But these ones in particular, I mean, as a set, they're pretty cute. Individually, I don't know how well they'd stack up. They look very cohesive as a set. Individually, kind of meh. Okay, Proof. Proof has this 1/7 scale Himura Kenshin Soryusen version from Rurouni Kenshin. Not a franchise I'm familiar with, but again, love to see the good male figures, and I know this series is quite popular. He looks really cool. I especially love the way that they've done the maple leaves and his little wind effects here. Very cool. Levi versus Beast Titan. I have already seen this one up for pre-order. I did send it to my friend because she is a massive Levi fan. I don't know supremely how I feel about the quality of this. He's pretty expensive. And I don't love the detail on this right here. The base is kind of throwing me off as well. He just kind of looks like he's more of a prize figure than a figure that should cost like $200. His face is kind of messed to me. Like, that doesn't make sense, okay? I just don't like this. And And I have since seen Attack on Titan. I know in like a couple of One Hobbies ago, like the very first ones that I ever filmed, you guys were getting on me. You're like, you gotta watch Attack on Titan, you've never seen it? And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's the anime. Have since seen it, okay? This is not Levi to me, right? Like, iconic scene, iconic thing, you know, but they could have executed this better. He's just kind of meh. Right, and then we just get into the SmileFest stuff. I'm gonna take a regroup, and if there's anything from SmileFest that I missed that I want to talk about, I'm gonna insert a little blurb here.
Okay, so I have been massively late in finishing and uploading this video, so some of the things that I wanted to talk about for SmileFest have actually already gone up for pre-order, but I'm gonna kind of try to give you a little bit of a sneaky peeky of what I was looking at there. Starting off first and foremostly, very first official Black Butler announcement for this new season cycle. We are getting Nendroids of Ciel and Sebastian in their Sapphire Owl uniforms, which is exciting as heck. Also, the fact that we learned the Urza Nendo lives, which honestly, I hit the knees and kissed the ground when I saw this announcement. I am so freaking excited that they did not shelve her. This is incredible. 10 out of 10, no notes. Actually, a couple notes. To me, she does look a little bit goofy, and I can't quite tell what's off about it. She just seems like she's very chubby cheeked. And I don't know if that necessarily scratches my "this looks like Urza" itch. But I'm not going to be one to complain, okay? Not going to be one to complain, alright? Secondarily, Good Smile Company's 1/7 scale Akane Kurokawa date style version. These date style versions are fan-freaking-tastic. I think there's a Rent-A-Girlfriend set that's quite popular as well. Always really love the texture that they put into these outfits. And for a 1/6 scale, they are honestly a steal of a price. Akane has already gone up. She is 17K, which honestly is really reasonable for a figure like this. The detail is nice. She's a decent scale. She's my least favorite of the three in terms of design. They also have announced Ruby and Kana for this line as well. She is my least favorite, the least standout-ish. However, I do quite like her. I think she's very cute, very demure, if you will. Sorry, had to throw that one in there. But I am seriously thinking about picking this one up. I think it's very cool. Aforementioned Lloyd that we were talking about before, they just cannot get this man right to save his life. Like, who is that? It's not Lloyd Forger, I'll tell you. It's not Twilight. As well, that has gone up for pre-order is Kadokawa's 1/7 scale Falslander Ronin. Now, I've been following this figure for quite some time, and I've slowly fallen more and more in love with her. She has gone up for pre-order, like I mentioned, and she is 25K, so she's a little expensive. I do really like the way that the paintwork turned out on this one though, and I could really see myself having this in the collection. Gonna see when she comes out how the aftermarket fares, and that will determine whether or not she will enter the collection, because 25K on a character that I have no emotional attachment to is kind of crazy. I also wanted to give some thoughts on the whole freeing 1/6 scale bunny thing. Because it was quite contentious at the time that it was announced. Some people loved it, some people hated it, and I think that with time I've landed solidly in the I love it camp, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like at first there were some naysayers, possibly strictly because it was Taiga, right? Because this figure itself, it already has some like bad zhuzh attached to it because they announced the original White Bunny Taiga, and then I believe after it was released, they dropped the Tiger Taiga bomb and basically just made the same figure but better. And so that kind of forced people who liked the character into potentially buying 2 copies of what is basically the same figure. And so I think the fact that they will now have 4 different variants of this particular Taiga figure out there is what got people. People were tired of seeing this particular sculpt. If they had done this like they did the re-releases that they did a couple of months ago, because remember, the freeing re-releases are very new. They did recently re-release, a batch of older, more expensive aftermarket bunnies back up for re-release, which has never happened before. So I think if they wanted to really seamlessly transition into doing 1/6, they should have just started off by doing their original re-releases in the 1/6 scale instead of using Taiga as the guinea pig, because that's kind of what's going to shake people up about this, in my opinion. Taiga has actually just gone up for pre-order, and in the 1/6 scale, it looks like she's retailing around 19,000, which honestly is a much more reasonable price for what these freeing bunny things are. And I think in the 1/6 that's going to solve a lot of people's space issues, as well as the creeping cost of them having to put so much plastic into making these, because the prices of the quarter scales have just gone completely out the window, like just ridiculous. So I do think that they are priced well, and it is a way for them to evolve into doing something that's going to keep people interested, because the bunny craze has kind of faded in the community a little bit, and I think they need to do something to make things easier to collect, I guess, in a sense, right? So I don't think this is an entirely bad move for them, and I could in fact be tempted. Okay? Because the Urza fishnet bunny is like 77,000 on the aftermarket. And so if they re-released her in the 1/6 scale, even though I have the bare leg quarter, I mayhaps be persuaded to buy two, which is really what they want. So, you know, give me what I want and I'll be happy, basically. And I wanted to just quickly talk about the brand new sculpt that we got from Hobby Stock for the Miku Expo Intergalactic Bound figure, which was the Miku mascot and the Miku model for the 10th anniversary North America and Europe tours, obviously of which I went to the Vancouver show, so I will almost definitely be picking this up. I am really, really excited. This is one of those Mikus that I want to save space for in my collection because she emotionally will mean a lot to me. So looking forward to that. However, I did see the Nendoroid for this design, and that's also super stinking cute as well. So I will eventually have to make a decision on which direction I'm going for this, but I will definitely have a copy of this design in my collection.
But otherwise, I think that this is the end. This is the Wonder Festival 2024 summer. Again, I really do enjoy filming these videos for you guys. You also do seem to enjoy them as well. Let me know in the comments down below what you are interested in from this latest batch of announcements. There's definitely a couple for me that I'll be looking out for. I'm just really happy to be back, honestly. Like, it's been a while since I've checked in, and this feels right. Like, I like what I'm doing here. It's my hobby. But that about does it for me today, friends. Of course, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.